I waited every weekend and you never showed up. And you always said that you would. What is it like as a man who used a substance that would allow you to make that little boy wait forever?
The things in which, like, I have done in my past have come back to haunt me. Okay? You know, because, like you say, peace, love, and positivity, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, how can you have peace, love, and positivity if you don't have experience, strength, and hope? Because they both come together.
I ain't gonna lie, like, that's a real sensitive topic, you feel me? I can understand, man. I can fully understand Logic, man. I know people looking at the situation like, oh, why Logic and his dad do a podcast and he on there crying? And, bruh, this be these emotions that men don't get to let out unless they in a situation where they can let it out. You know what I'm saying? So, heartfelt situation between a man and his dad, you gonna get some intense emotions when you asking questions you was never able to ask. So I also seen a comment where somebody was like, if I'ma cry, I might as well make some money for it. Good point, but I don't think it was for the money, because Logic rich, you know what I'm saying? I think it was just more so in the moment, you feel me? But men don't emit those type of emotions because they don't be understanding what they processing until it's time for them to process it, which is trauma. Even therapy can't help you understand that type of trauma until you sit down and face the problem of the trauma, and then you get them type of emotions out, which calls for healing afterwards. So I look at two grown men who establishing how they was trauma bonding, you feel me? I can't speak on how Logic grew up or whatever the case may be, but just off context, like, a lot of men be doing things out of ego and pride because they never had that type of relationship with their fathers or with they, you know, the people they look up to and look to raise them, even with their mothers, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit, it be deep rooted in them to the point, you know, niggas will go hard with a chip on their shoulder way back for some shit that happened as a child, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be going so hard just to get some love and not even realizing you doing it because you never got the love. I'm guilty of it too. Like, I used to be questioning myself, like, man, just simple shit, like, why my dad never show up to these school, you know what I'm saying, ceremonies? I done be getting all these A's and B's, he don't show up to none of this shit. But if I go to jail, he gonna show up to this shit just to cuss me out. That shit hurt when you doing a lot just to even become something, and people don't really be, you know, receptive to it, which is receptive is like giving you recognition, let's say that, like, for doing a good thing. Like, a lot of people only show up when it's bad time. They'll show up for you when you go on the court dates. They'll show up for you when you got some money to give. They'll show up for you when you down and out and on your last. But that be how a lot of people be teaching and raising their children. And it's like, as a person like Logic, man, he just had to get it out because it was a level of misunderstanding that he needed some understanding on so he could start healing. So for me, I'm just being honest with y'all, I had to go through them same emotions to even understand how I was feeling in life. You feel me? Like, not feeling love, can't be vulnerable with nobody because people take your vulnerability and laugh at you. Men can't be super vulnerable with men because they'll tell you, man, just be a man, be a man. That ain't real friends. You know, you got women, you can't talk to women because they'll take your vulnerability and use it against you or make a joke out of it, not knowing it ain't even a joking matter. Man, shout out to them two men able to be in the same room and talk about these things. And I love it because me just watching it helped me think about some of the shit I've been through with my pops. You feel what I'm saying? Like, on top of that, just playing, you know, the advocate of the devil, like, you be having grown people who they don't know how to raise and give love because they didn't come from love themselves. So they doing their best. They trying their best to even be what you want them to be. So I advise anybody, like, man, love your mother, man, love your father, no matter what y'all been through, because it's hard raising a child. It's hard, you know, being there for somebody when you never been there for yourself, and now you forced to be there On top of that, you got all these other things that play in the midst of it, which is life shit, bills, problems, health. You know what I'm saying? The laws of the land and in society. So that forces people to drink. That forces people to do drugs. Not saying it's an excuse, but that's what it leads to. It forces people to, and once people get on that path of drugs, alcoholism, it's hard for them to mentally get out of that state. And by the time some parents get out of that state, it be too late. But for the children, it be deep rooted in them, and they took it on as a burden and just was forced to push forward without really addressing the issue. All they knew is be strong, be a man, be a woman. It's life, it happens. So, you know, that's why a lot of people that advocate for therapy and mental health, because it be a lot of shit people don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? So, parent to child, man. Child to parent, love your children, love your mother and your father. Try to be there for them as much as you can. Try to give the love you never thought you would receive, even if it hurts. At the end of the day, it's unspoken of love and unconditional love we gotta give back to one another. And it's in the Bible to love thy mother and love thy father. So that means, you know, forgive them. Forgive them. It's gonna do you more pain not forgiving them than it will, you know, man. I'm getting emotional on here, man. I'm just a messenger, man. I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. My mother was on drugs bad. My father was absent in my life for the first 11 years of my life, 12 years. And now you want to come back in my life? Now y'all want to come back in my life? That got me outside fighting and whooping on everybody the whole time. It's because I'm an angry kid, because I'm feeling abandoned in life. I'm feeling like my emotions has never been attended to. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching life beat on me and my folks at the same time, to the point I don't even want to be here in life, because I don't understand life, and nobody there to teach me what life is. And then when I'm getting to know what life is, I got all the other type of shit that play on my top when life hit. Bills, laws, society, fake friends, fake girlfriends, fake love, drugs, temptation, all that shit get to play and get in the mix. And then by you look up, by the time you're 30, 40 years old, you got unresolved trauma that we never dealt with, and that could force you to kill, steal, rob, self-medicate, alcoholism, drugs, sex, becoming a whore, becoming a homemonger. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Logic for dropping them tears with his dad, man. I'm just a messenger, man. I'm just a nigga with an opinion, though.